All right, I'm Gianni the Greek, coming to you live straight from Las Vegas. It is Wednesday, June the 5th, and we're coming off a nice Tuesday night. Now, we got a lot to get to. Major League Baseball, I got WNBA for you. I even have some soccer steam to share. But before we go forward, you always got to look back because you got to document your results and you got to be transparent. This industry just doesn't have enough of that. Anyone will tell you when they're hot, but very few will tell you when they're cold. And more importantly, give you those long-term results. Got to make it a rule. If any source of information is going to brag about their last 10 bets, then they better be sure to share their last 100 bets, last 500 bets, last 1,000 bets. Because unless they just started betting this week, they should have those long-term results. And if they're not showing them, then you already know what they are. Because there's no one on the planet selling picks that's up money over the last 365 days that's not going to be bragging about it to sell. That much I can promise you. Now, let's look at how we're doing. I know we crushed it over the last 3 days. It says we have a 27% ROI, up over 25 units. That's nonsense. That's the last 3 days. That means nothing. If you signed up within the last 3 days, God bless you. We came out, you started with a little bit of profit, but that's not what we're after. I'm not looking to win today, tonight, this week, this month. Sure, that's the goal every single day, to make some money. But we know that there's a lot of randomness to a short sample size. So what do? We rinse and repeat. We find the inefficiencies, we bet size correctly, and we trust that long-term, our edge will produce a profit. Well, if you have one. So far, so good. So let's go a little further back. Let's look over the last 30 days. If you've been here with me for a month, okay, we're about 15 units. Nothing to brag about 2% ROI, which is average. We're just grinding. We're just grinding and adding to profit. But what matters more than anything else, how am I doing the last 365? Okay, well, let's look at this year too, since we got 5 months in the books. All right, up over 50 units. And again, about 2% ROI. And that's on, we're over 1,300 bets already. So we have some statistical significance of over 50 units. Now, what does 50 units mean? It means if you have followed my bet size and recommendation, you've already increased your starting capital by double-digit return. Already double-digit return, and we haven't even gotten hot or crushed it. That's just by grinding. By grinding, we already have a double-digit return on capital. We just get warm. Because you remember last year at this time, we weren't even up 50 units. But we ended the year increasing capital by 80% because that's what we do. All right? So let's look at the last 365 so we can move on because transparency matters. And where are we there? All right, we're over that 230 mark. We're over 2.5% ROI. That's advantage play. That's advantage play. Again, if your goals are aligned, if you truly want to win long term, it's right there for you. The opportunity is just sitting there. I've won 8 of the last 9 years. I'm going to win 9 of the last 10 years because that's what we do. That's the job. And if your goal is aligned with mine, I will not disappoint you. That much I guarantee you. I can't guarantee you're going to make money because I can't manage your risk for you. What I can guarantee you is I'm going to make money. So if you follow my blueprint, you bet size correctly, you don't take bad numbers, you're going to do exactly what I do. And that's make money betting sports. I'm in that 0.5% of people on the planet that actually do this. That's the truth of it. You don't have to like the way I speak. You don't have to like my beautiful teeth. You don't have to like my smile or anything about me. But numbers do not lie. Numbers don't lie. And I have documented every single bet I've released to subscribers since 2015. So we're moving on almost 10 years. 10 years. And I've won 9 of those. 9 of those. So again, you don't have to like anything about me, but the results are there. If you want to win long term, go to wagertalk.com, follow Greek Gambler, go to Greek_Gambler on Twitter, on Instagram, and Greek_Gambler7 on TikTok. Yeah, because I'm putting out some gold there as well. And starting next week, I'm going to release plays just for those platforms. So it will not be the same picks on every platform. We're going to have a premium on Instagram, a premium on TikTok, a couple premiums on YouTube because I love you guys. We go longer here, and that's how we're going to do it. And please, 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 I'll do this for you every day if I continue to see the views increase and I see the engagement. I'm just being honest with you. I have that deal with Gianni. If I see that I'm wasting my time and the bettors and the engagement isn't there and the following isn't there, then I don't need to waste my time. I do what I do every single day. My life doesn't change. I wake up, I move for these groups, I make money off the accounts that I manage, and more importantly, I bet on top of them. So I'm going to make my money. I want you to make yours as well. But to do this for you each and every morning, because I'd be trading right now. I could be trading stocks right now and finding some day trades and making money. So I promise you, this costs me, but it's worth it to me. My thanks to all the love that you guys give me, even if you disagree with me, because you better disagree with a lot of my picks. You need to disagree. You have to have your own opinion. That's okay. But, got to face the music as well. Ace knows what he's doing. Come on. All right. Now let's get this going. Let's get this going. Smash that like button. Please smash that like button. Give me some comments. Give me some questions because I got it. My girl already printed out today. It's just not a lot there. Not a lot there. So if this doesn't grow, I'm just being honest. Again, not threatening. I just don't see me doing this every single day if we don't grow. The only way to grow is you guys engage. You guys share it. You guys help me put it out there. If you guys want this, then again, you got to be Team Ace and let's get this done. All right, let's get you some winners. Here's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to give you some FIFA that I couldn't even release to subscribers because I can't guarantee they could all get down. Once I have access to a ton of sports books that I bet into. If I see that the market isn't available and at least 50% of them, I don't release premium plays because I know my subscribers are going to have some trouble getting down. But here, let me give you some FIFA for today for those of you that can get down. All right, June 5th. FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Palestine versus Lebanon. We're going to go under 1.75 at plus 125 or better, under 2 at minus 105 or better, or under 2.25 at minus 150 or better. You notice we're willing to lay more vig the better number we get. We bet numbers. We don't bet teams. That's why we profit long term. We're not predicting outcomes. We're finding inefficiencies. And under 1.75 at plus 125 or better is inefficient, just like under 2.25 at minus 150 or better is inefficient. Two different bets, both of them with an inefficient betting line. FIFA Africa. Guinea-Bissau versus Ethiopia. Guinea-Bissau versus Ethiopia. We're going over 1.75 minus 105 or better, or over 1.5 minus 140 or better. Guinea-Bissau versus Ethiopia over 1.75, over 1.5. And World Cup qualifier Africa, Rwanda versus Benin. Rwanda versus Benin. We bet Rwanda plus a half a goal, minus 115 or better. Rwanda plus a half a goal, minus 115 or better. And finally, FIFA World Cup Africa, Senegal versus Congo. Senegal versus Congo. We're going under 2.5 minus 170 or better, under 2.25 minus 130 or better, or under 2 at plus 105 or better. Again, if you're getting a better number, you're willing to lay more vig. If you're getting a worse number, you got to lay better vig as well. That's the key. We're betting numbers, not teams. And finally, World Cup qualifier Asia, Korea DPR versus Syria. Korea versus Syria, under 2.5 minus 150 or better, under 2.25 minus 120 or better, or under 2 at plus 120 or better. You got all of the World Cup qualifiers. I bet all of these. I bet on top of them after moving them and taking a percentage of the accounts because they've just crushed soccer over the years. I don't have an opinion on this stuff, but I'm more than happy to piggyback them blindly. Let me get you some WNBA. Why not? Why not? I gave a lot of premiums today already to my subscribers. I get out ahead of the market. I get my guys their plays bright and early when I know the market's going to move. All right. What did I do in WNBA? Okay, I gave 3 plays. I'm going to give you, let me see what I should give. Got to be fair to my subscribers. These are the guys that support me so much. I can't just give the shit away. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the home dog that I like. Los Angeles. LA Sparks plus 7.5 or plus 7. You want to get the 7.5. In fact, if you could buy it up to plus 8 minus 120, there's even a little bit of value because I believe buying the 8 should cost minus 121 or 122 in NBA. Don't know how well it translates over to WNBA, but just throwing it out there. Little thought for you guys. Dig a little deeper. Now, I have a ton of Major League Baseball. That much I can promise you. I've already sent out a ton. So here's what I'm going to do. Share what I can because I love you guys. Let's go over 8.5. Minnesota, New York Yankees. Over 8.5. Minnesota, New York Yankees. Again, these are premium plays that I already released to subscribers. These are 3% plays. That means less than 1% of your bankroll. Why? Why? Because we want to make money betting sports. We do not want to be ruined betting sports. All right. What else can I get you? No. Again, see, this isn't scripted. This isn't your show. This is live trading as it happens. Like yesterday, when the play came across the bot, you got it. No. Wow. Sorry, got to keep these hidden. A lot of these got to stay hidden, man. Because groups I work with, I see they're still pounding some of these. All right, here's one. I'm going to give you first 5 and the game. First 5 and the game. All right. We're going to go Cubs, White Sox. We're going to go over 9 and over 4.5 in the first 5. Over 9 and over 4.5 in the first 5. I think I laid up the minus 125 in the first half to go over. I went over 5. I went over 5 at even money because that means the over 4.5 that I got them at minus 120, 22 wasn't still there. It's probably 130, and I'm not going to lay that kind of vig when I could lay the 5 at even money. So the vig I think is up to minus 130 or even higher than that. 5 is actually a better number. And remember, these are the kind that we could actually piggyback because the worst case scenario, if they win, we push. The only way they could win an under 4.5. An over 4.5 is if there's 5 runs or more. Well, if it lands 5 runs, we push. If it goes more, we both cash. In that situation, I will take the worst number because the worst that happens to me is I push. But again, if it was they went over 5 and I had 5.5, I can't bet that. Why? Because it lands 5, they push, I lose. I don't want that to happen. Keep that in mind. So I gave you Cubs, White Sox over. I gave you Minnesota first 5 end game. I gave you Minnesota Yankees over just for the game. I gave you the Sparks plus 7.5. Let me see what else I can get for you. I'll give you one more. I love you guys. Smash the like. The more likes I see, the more engagement I see, as you notice, the more picks. A few days ago on Sunday, you guys got me up over that 2,000 range. I saw a ton of comments and everything. And that's why yesterday you saw the amount of action I was giving you guys on Monday and Tuesday. I can't control the results short term, but I can control the volume. Finally. Milwaukee, Philadelphia under. All right. Just because that got bet first 5 end game. We went under 9 for the game. We went under 5 for the first 5. Real quickly, is stock. If you guys, any of you invested in the market, I just got down on a long that I'm probably going to swing trade, meaning I'm going to keep it, looking to keep it probably between 1 to 6 months, sometimes a little longer if the chart shows that it's still got ways to go higher. But sometimes I'm out of there within a month in a swing trade. It's PayPal, PYPL. That's the letters that the stock symbol, the symbol. And I got in at $63.25. I also have a buy order at $62.75 to try to get my dollar cost out to about 63. If you could get it around $63, there's a lot of upside. There's a lot of upside to PayPal. And also TLT, that's the treasury bond. I just got into that. Now that one's moved on us a little bit since I got in. But let me tell you what my chart shows. Okay. I got in, where was that day? Yeah, right about the 1st of May, 2nd of May. I got in at about $87, 87 and some change. It's right around $91 right now. So what did I make there? About half a percent, about a half a percent. So it hasn't moved much again with us. It's moving our direction, which is a good sign, but hasn't much. Here's what we need. Here's what we need with TLT. Where it's sitting right now, we need it to break that downsloping trend line. There's a downsloping trend line that we're looking to break around that 94. Once we break that, first we go above that gap. There's a gap at about 97, 97.50. There's a gap window right around that 97.5 to 98. If we could crack that, consolidate a little, crack that downsloping trend line at about, what is that? About mid 90s, upside to, where do my chart have them? To at least $111 to 114. That's where we're heading. So from 90 to 111, 114, about 20% return on our money within a couple months. That should get there. That's pretty safe. That's pretty safe. There's a lot of factors that validate it. So both of them, TLT and PayPal, some pretty good stocks to get into. And if you another long-term one that is moving against us, so that means you're going to get an even better price, and that's the Brazil ETF. It's in Brazil. We're going long on Brazil ETF. Right now you could get in. Oh, I got a better price. Right now you could get in at $29.30. $29.30. And my average is 29.22. So yeah, right around there. Again, agree, disagree, follow, fade, ignore. I just try to share as much information as possible. One of my paintings got sold a Basquiat called The Mosque at Masterworks, and I haven't got my money yet, but my return on investment there, I'll tell you now what it was. So you guys want to diversify your investments. Right now, you want to be in precious metals. That means gold should have at least 25% of your capital in gold. Maybe about 5 to 10% at the most in crypto. You want to be holding cash right now also. You want to be heavy in cash because when shit hits the fan, you want to be able to buy low, kind of like that, the COVID dump. Another one should be coming with a great opportunity. So stack that cash. And in the meantime, just sit in commodities. Again, do the 20-year treasury bond. But more importantly, the only thing we want to get in right now are the commodities. The tech stocks that are going up, they're just way too overvalued. So we want to look at gold. Here's what I'm into. I'm into gold and I'm into uranium. I sold most of my silver when it hit about $30, but I will re-up if it retraces. And I also have a little bit of lithium and a little bit of wheat. Those are the commodities that I'm into. Uranium's my heaviest one. Gold is my heaviest, obviously, physical and paper gold. And the rest is in uranium. But I have at least 50% cash right now. At least 50% of my portfolio is in cash. And I'm trying to increase that because I think there will be buying opportunities ahead. Now, the Basquiat that sold, I'll tell you right now how I did. 33.7%. 33.7% I made on it. Not bad. Less than a year. So for every 10,000 I invested, I got 33.70 returned within a year. Not bad. So you guys may want to check that out at Masterworks. Now, let me get to some questions so we can wrap this up. In about 20 minutes, we're going to go today. Not bad. And not a lot of questions. Is it Ace or Gianni the Greek? Either way, thank you for loving, Rick. I got a lot of nicknames. When you grow up in the East Coast, from young, you have a lot of nicknames. I was actually telling my girl that depending on the age group, they have a different name for me. I said the oldest guys, because my father had 7 brothers. I was the last cousin. I have like 30 plus first cousins. I was the youngest one. And they called me young man for some reason when I was a little boy. I'm talking like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think because I hung with the older kids. So they called me young man. I was the youngest one. So I told her, when we meet my oldest family, you're going to see they call me young man. What do you know? A couple of days later, one of my cousins texts, and it's actually Instagram, DMs, hey, young man. He saw a video. And I said, I told you. Another group calls me mama back in Philly. Still call me mama because I was that older guy for the younger kids that used to come, and I used to help them out, protect them a little bit, maybe give them a little bit of money, direct them. So they were like, oh, they're going to their mama. Then I got into gambling. Once I got into gambling, the name became Ace. Ace. That stuck the most. My best friends, the ones that know me the best, the closest friends, they all call me Ace. And my birth name was Gianni. It's really Ioannis in Greek. My birth certificate was Joannis, my first birth certificate. It was very embarrassing when you're like 5, 6, 7, 10 years old and you're signing up for Little League and they're like, Joanne. They think you're even a female back then. And back then it was different. You couldn't be a female on boys teams like you can now. Boys could actually play. It's another conversation. But yeah. So that's why it's nicknames from back east. It's not like anyone's trying to conceal anything. And finally, Vegas Runner. I moved for the group back in Philadelphia. And of course, they'd be like, they had runners everywhere. Runners in Vegas, runner in Reno, runners offshore back then in Antigua, in Costa Rica. And for certain positions, get the Vegas Runner, get the Vegas Runner, get the Vegas Runner, get the Vegas Runner. Give that to Vegas Runner, give that to Vegas Runner. And it stuck, Vegas Runner. That's how that name stuck. And that's when I started getting into the pig selling business. So there's nothing to hide anything. The only thing that is when I got that lawsuit against Pregame when they sued me for no compete. And I couldn't sell under my name until the court case came up. And because of that, I was forced to be, when any of you guys know the story. All right, next question. Let's say I'm looking to place a bet on a game with odds of -130 when aiming to win 1,000. Should I A, bet 1,000 to win 769 and change, or B, bet 1,300 to win 1,000? Does it matter? Yes, it matters. It matters. Personally, I bet to win. If I'm laying the favorite, I'm betting to win. I'm not flat betting like I'm doing on the dogs, because you end up that way having more risk on the underdogs. Now, there will be times where that'll be more profitable, but I prefer consistency. And the way I broke into this industry with the groups that I worked with, they had me bet for them to win or flat bet, meaning I was getting them. My first job was at the Stardust, and they would give me $5,000 on an NFL game. That was the max they would give me, knowing the group I was working for. They knew it wasn't my stuff. I had an earpiece in my ear and a microphone taped to my chest. Back then, you weren't allowed to even have cell phones or beepers. You could have beepers, but you couldn't have cell phones or any two-way communication in the sports book. So that's how I got down for these groups, an earpiece. And they would say Dallas -5. So anyway, if it was a favorite, I would bet 5,500 to win 5,000. If it was a dog, I'd flat bet 5,000. I carried that over to my own betting because I figured these guys know best. If that's how they're doing it, that's how I'm going to do it. So again, I'm sure for some bettors, it may be more advantageous based on their style to maybe do it differently. Do what works for you. But I'm just mimicking the guys that I've worked for that won the most money, and it's done well for me. Next question. Ace, is it worth to play blackjack in 2024? Absolutely. 100%. It's even better in 2024 because no one's talking about card counting and advantage play. Everyone's talking about sports betting and gambling. So the casinos are even more asleep to the card counters. The difference is you have to be more selective on which games you choose because there's a lot of unfair games. Meaning if I'm an efficient card counter, as soon as I see an automatic continuous shuffle machine, I'm walking. I don't mind the automatic shuffle because it's the same decks. But the continuous shuffle, you can't beat that. There's nothing to count. They're just stuffing cards in there. You don't even know how many decks, what deck, what. So you can't count when I see that. I also look for rules. Where could I double? Can I split? We were in Tampa. Was it Tampa or in Oklahoma where I could only double down on, I think, 10 and 11, something like that. I couldn't split aces. So there's some rules that are more advantageous, obviously, to the house. No, I'm not going to play those games. Just like I'm not going to play games where if it's a double deck game, I'm not going to play where they put the cut card in one deck. I need to see at least 1.5 decks, if not more, 1.75 decks to beat the game. If it's a double deck game and they're only going to deal me one deck, I'm not going to play that game. I need deck penetration. So there's a lot you need to learn after mastering counting cards on how to get in the casino, actually make money doing this. But you got to start at the beginning. You got to crawl before you walk. And until you master perfect basic strategy for every hand combination, and then master the high-low count. Just master the high-low count, what each count is worth. Don't worry about estimating the true count and the deck and all that stuff. I'm taking you step by step the best way you can do it. Master proper basic, and then move on to card counting. High-low count, simple. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 1. 7, 8, 9, 0. 10 face cards and aces, minus 1. At the end of every deck, you should be at 0. Your count's on if it's at 0. The way I used to do it with practice is I'd take 2 cards, not look at them and hide them, deal out, count the 50 as fast as I can. And if I was at plus 2 at the end of that, I knew I needed to get to 0, -2. So obviously those 2 cards I was hiding were either 10 face cards or an ace. That's the only way I could get to 0. If after counting 50, I was at plus 1 and there were 2 cards there, well, one's has to be a 0, obviously. So one's a 7, 8, 9. And to get a plus 1 to 0, I need a -1. So again, we know it's a 10 face card or ace. So I could know with certainty that those 2 cards is a 7, 8, 9, 10 ace or face card. That's what card counting is. You're not predicting the next card. You're predicting the probability of what the next card will be. That's what you're doing. So, yeah, absolutely. Again, I went longer than I wanted to, but we answered a ton of questions. Not a ton. You guys didn't ask a lot. Gave a lot of games. FIFA World Cup, WNBA, Major League Baseball. I hope you cash them. Don't trash them. I got a big game plan. More stuff's coming in, like the late afternoon stuff yesterday that did damage. We're looking to do some more damage again today with that. Oh, final question. Who's that girl walking behind you? That's my girl. She's moved in with me. She's from Oklahoma. We've been seeing each other for a while now, and took that next step where we're moving in, and she's helped me with a lot of my work, making it easier. This would never be possible, to tell you the truth, if she wasn't helping me. I'm not technically savvy. I didn't set any of this stuff up. I don't upload any of this stuff. She handles all of that and also keeps my house pretty damn clean. Great woman. Find one of those. They don't exist anymore. I got pretty lucky that to find one, especially, this generation, because she's so young. Very rare. I thought I'd have to meet someone 50 years old plus to have any shot at that, but I got lucky. They're still out there, boys. Don't give up hope. And I love you. Please, please, please smash that like button, share it so we can keep doing this, because I have a hell of a good time doing it. Have a great Wednesday. Do some damage. Don't forget, I got my podcast coming up this afternoon too. Which one is it? Bettor's Perspective for the UFC. It'll be on Fight Pass. Love you.